maybe I should consider drawing out the Ultra T-Rex Productions things. Why not? Just gotta think about it. Hey there everybody, it's me CryoFlare for another video, and like Ridley said, I've been searching for some partnered help, and thankfully I finally got it. And guys, why don't you introduce yourselves?
Hey everybody, my name's Bubble and it's very nice to meet you.
Hey there, YouTube. Just call me Neil Leaf, and it's nice to be here.
And since I finally got some partners, I thought I'd let everybody know exactly what's going on at the moment with certain stuff. How's that sound?
Sounds pretty good to me.
Ooh, are we gonna talk about cake? Or maybe pancakes? Or any kind of sweets? I love sweets.
No, we're gonna be talking about the different stuff that I've been doing before you two came along. Got it? And, sorry to disappoint you, Arrow Bubble.
Oh, very well then. So what exactly are we talking about, CryoFlare?
First, we'll be talking about my spore creatures and see how it's going in a different approach.
Oh yeah, Spore. That's a fun game, isn't it?
That it is. And seeing as how those video recordings don't seem to be going for me at the moment, I think I'll try a different approach with it. Heck, might even allow you to hear me even better.
So, what is it? Tell us.
Well, instead of videos, I thought I'd use pictures. Here's an example, like this guy.
Look! It's a monster!
Oh, relax, Arrow Bubble. It's just a picture. So, CryoFlare, what exactly is this sporified creature?
This is a sporified version of the Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon from the Yu-Gi-Oh card game and anime.
Boy, that is one popular anime and card game, isn't it, CryoFlare?
Boy, is it ever. So, basically, I'll be using pictures instead of videos to show you the creations I've made in Spore, which I think will work a lot better for both of us. Now, on to what I'm doing on DeviantArt. As you all are aware of, or not, I have a DeviantArt account that goes by the name of CryoFlare Draco. And on there, not only am I uploading some of my random artwork, along with designated, I'm also uploading 3 different comics.
Well, that's not really a surprise considering your creativity, is it?
How very true, Arrow Bubble. So, what exactly are the comics you're working on, CryoFlare?
Glad you asked, Neil Leaf. Now let's start off with the first one that I've really progressed through. And the first one is called The War of the Realms.
CryoFlare, you do know that there's a... Wait a minute. Did you get this idea from War of the Worlds?
Actually, no. The title of this comic sort of just came to me while I was thinking about it.
Is it me, or do I see what looks like a Zangoose and a T-Rex on that cover?
No, you're right, Arrow Bubble. That is a Zangoose and a T-Rex on that cover. Or at least their silhouettes.
Okay, so what exactly are those two on the cover, if I may ask?
Well, it's pretty simple, Arrow Bubble. The reason that silhouette of Zangoose and a T-Rex are on this cover is because they are the main, I guess you could say, species that take part in this little comic, representing, obviously, Pokemon, while the other represents Dinosaur King.
Well, that certainly sounds like an interesting idea. Hey, wait a minute. Is that a Super Smash Bros. Icon I see?
Yes, it is, Neil Leaf. That's because, well, I guess you could say this is a comic based around a 4th Super Smash Bros. other's game that hasn't really been made yet. And this one basically surrounds a possible idea for the 4th installment. I've christened it Super Smash Bros. Unleashed.
Not exactly what I would call a good name for a fighting game.
Yeah, you're right about that, Neil Leaf. But if it makes you feel better, I've come up with another name for it. Super Smash Bros. Championship. But if you've got a better name, go right ahead.
Why does it look like those two are at war against each other?
That's because they are at war against each other, Arrow Bubble. They've been at war since, well, a very long time. Why they've been at war, only time and they will tell. Now, let's move on to the next comic. I've so far only done one comic that one page of this particular comic that I've uploaded onto DeviantArt, and I'm working on the second page as we speak. And it goes by the name of The Wrath of the Sub-Zero Scorcher.
Sub-Zero Scorcher. Wait a minute. That's your title, CryoFlare.
I don't get it. How come your title is in this particular comic's title?
That's because this particular comic stars me, along with many other characters that you may or may not have heard. Heck, you two will even make an appearance in here.
Wow. Now that's some idea.
So, who exactly is going to be making an appearance in your little comic, CryoFlare? Ooh, is it Michael Jackson?
I hadn't really thought of that, but no. The people who will be making an appearance in this little comic will actually be the brawlified versions of some famous machinimators, and I guess you could say other people who some people might know.
So who are they? Davey! Tell us, please!
Keep your shell on, Arrow Bubble. I'll tell you. I've already got a list of the designated machinimators, and I guess you could say voice actors or something like that. And they are Mega Blue Blaster, Yashanyu 1, Shadowlink 4321, Site 360X, Tigera 21, The Rollin' Nolan, Angel Glory, Crazy Brawler, White Blade Zero, Rydragon, and SS Baby Girl. Oh, and I'm also thinking about adding Blue Teardrop and Tyvenchu 7, did I say that right, into this little comic.
Wow. Certainly sounds like you've got your work cut out for you with this one. Do they by any chance know you're doing this, if I may ask?
Well, yes and no. See, I wanted to talk to them over Skype, but they were either too busy or didn't notice my message. Except for Mega. He noticed. And he is apparently okay with it. And you know what? I think I've got another idea. I think I'll add Blaze 1216J onto this little comic as well. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, now, on to the third one. The third comic that I'm working on doesn't really have any pages yet, but I'm really thinking about it. And this one is called Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, Dawn of the Shadows.
Let me guess. You got the idea for this title from those episodes of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl that featured Dawn in the title because of the one character in it. Am I right?
You're absolutely right, Neil Leaf. I got the idea for this title from all those episodes that had Dawn in their episode name.
This title sounds like a pretty big contradiction. Why exactly did you call it Dawn of the Shadows?
Well, that's because this little comic involves the appearance of a special Pokemon that I guess you could say specializes in darkness. And no, it's not Darkrai. It's someone we've all heard of before. Ladies and gentlemen, this comic introduces, in a different sort of way, Shadow Lugia!
Ah! Shadow Lugia! Everybody run!
What? Shadow Lugia? But how could this be? He appeared in a game, and he should have been purified by now. I don't understand. How could he appear in a comic that doesn't involve his game, and most certainly involves him not being purified?
I can explain this one. You see, as we all know, Shadow Pokemon are originally based surrounding the games Pokemon Colosseum and Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, created by Team Cypher, who are Pokemon that have artificially had their hearts closed. The Shadow Pokemon, not Team Cypher. Obviously, they're after world domination, and again, which evil organization isn't? This is true. Anywho, and as we all know, Shadow Lugia is, well, I guess you could say, the king of Shadow Pokemon. And with this one, I thought I'd put a different spin on Shadow Lugia with this particular comic. I won't tell you. You'll just have to wait until I upload enough of the comic onto DeviantArt to find out what's going on.
CryoFlare, your creativity never ceases to amaze me.
So, can you tell us a little more about this comic, other than the obvious appearance of Shadow Lugia?
Well, seeing as how I hadn't really seen any in my eyes, I thought I'd create a Dawn and Ash fan comic. In other words, you could say it's a Ash and Dawn lovey-dovey fan comic, if you want to put it that way.
Ashy and Dawn is sitting in a tree. K-I-S-S-I-N-G.
Wait, CryoFlare, I thought you were for the whole Ash and Misty thing. I don't understand. How come you're making a comic that's surrounding Ash and Dawn getting together?
Well, I used to be for the whole Ash and Misty thing, thanks to that Misty song, but after a while, and seeing a few hints of the whole Ash and Dawn thing, it suddenly changed. Now, I think Ash and Dawn would make a better couple. I was never really for the whole Ash and May thing because of Drew, and, once you think about it, Ash and Dawn do kind of make a pretty good couple. Well, that's all the time we have for now. Until next time. Oh, and until the next time, Happy Halloween!
Enjoy a good scare!
And enjoy all that free candy you get. Candy.